Hello again. New scenery. I've got another review for you. I've got the Wotofo Serpent RTA. I'm going to get down close, have a look at it, show you what's in the box, and show you some of the problems that I've had. When we finish, we'll get back up, show you a vape, and maybe even throw a coil in it while we're down below. But before we do, if you're watching this after the 7th of May 2016, it'll be irrelevant. But if you're watching it before, get yourself down to Vape Expo down at the NEC. If you see me down there, say hello and have a chat. If I don't see you down there, I'll see you on the next video. But anyway, let's go down below, let's have a look at the Wotofo Serpent. Here's the Serpent by Wotofo. This is the black one, just your generic box. If you want to QR code it, where have we gone? There you go. Feel free to pause and there you go. It's in black, they do a stainless steel. Let's dive down, have a look at what's in the box. Bit of information of how to coil it up and fill it up on that. You've got the atomizer there. We'll come back to that. White box. A couple of backs of inside. You've got some comp wire. Oh, some comp wire. There's your coils. I'll show you one of those in a moment. You get some cotton. I have used some of that, and a bag of spurs. So you've got some little grub screws in there, O-rings, clear and a black one in there. And you also get a nifty little screwdriver. It's a good idea the size of that screwdriver. If I have actually used it. You've got a Phillips head. Phillips head there. You've got a 2.5mm and a 3mm hex. You've got 3mm and 2.5mm. You only need two on this. Sorry, you only need one on it. But it's nice that they give you something that you may use on other devices. So let's put those aside and get to the atomizer. So what, start from the top. Drip tip does fit in there very snugly. It's a hollow tip. It's not solid all the way through the actual wall of it. It's supposed to be cooling for that. Keeps the tip cool. Below that you've got another step. That step is your fill port. So when you're filling it, screw the second ring down. Screw the second ring down, which is just above the little line. So effectively it's that part there that you're holding that part with one hand, hold the tank with the other, and you screw that down, that closes off your juice flow. So if I actually open it up, look at the bottom of the chimney, still a little bit of juice in there, that's opening up the juice flow. So you close the juice flow down screw it down. Once you feel it stop, don't tighten it too much. Hold your juice flow control ring and turn the next one up, which will be that one there, one just below your drip tip. Once you've undone that, you've then got nice wide fill port. We dump your juice in there, fill it up. I would say go to the top of your window. Don't overfill it beyond the top of the window and you get it all squished in there, because you will get it air locking as well. So when you're filling it up, close your juice flow down, pop that in. When you're putting your top cap on, put it on until the O-ring is just about to touch. So it's not pushing in, but it's just about touching in there. Hold it upside down, wait for your bubbles to come, your little air bubble inside, wait for it to come up to the top, open up your juice flow control, one turn, something like that, just enough to let the air escape out of it, and then tighten up your top cap. Once you've done that, tip it back the other way, and what I do is screw the juice flow in, undo it 2 turns, and that's normally enough for my vaping. Below, moving further down, below that we've got a seam where you would take your tank off. Below that you've got your airflow control ring. It's double slot, so you've got one there and one on the other side. There's no stop on the airflow control ring. It does continue turning. So if you're one of these that thumb your atomizer as you're vaping or it's in your pocket, you may end up adjusting your airflow, but that's not turning. It's not too free, but it's not too stiff. Can't stand an airflow that's too stiff, but it's okay. It's not sticking out, so you can't really catch it. You would have to put your thumb on it or your finger to push it round to get it to turn. Let's open it up and have a look what we've got inside. I have just drained this, so there still may be a little fluid left in. When we take it off, if you've got some juice in, shut your juice control off and tip it upside down, and you can take your build deck off. Come to the deck in a moment. Your tank, that is as far down as you can strip it. Just take the fill cap off. That's as far as you can strip it down. So if you do break your glass, it's a new atomizer. Unless you found somewhere that does another tank for it. But there's a little bit of metal around it, so it should protect it from any damage, unless of course you catch it across there. You've got your chimney inside, which is quite a large chimney, but bear in mind it does go over your build deck, so your build deck will take some of that volume up. The chimney itself is connected to an upper post which moves in and out as you adjust your juice flow control, and it's connected to that by, just see a rivet there and a rivet there. Them are the rivets that hold all the chimney together. Not had a problem with it leaking out through the chimney. It does seem that there is a seal inside of there, so I've not had any gurgling coming through it. Let's have a look at the deck. I've been using this. This is the 1.1, correction, this is the 0.11 nickel that I've been trying it in temperature control, and it seems to be working pretty well. I have had some people say that particularly on the black one, the ohms jumps around all over the place. I don't seem to have found that. It's been pretty stable with me. But what we'll do, we'll take this one out and we'll put the comp wire in, which I showed you earlier. So to take your wire out using a nifty little key, just undo them. Remove the coil. With the coil, if you're recoiling your own coils, what you will notice on it, just get that in, the coil is going around the opposite way. So as you coil normally, there we go, it would normally coil that way around, coming this way. This one coils that way if you recoil on your own. If you're buying new coils for it, pre-made coils, bear that in mind, because it'll get a little fiddly when you're putting your coil into your deck. Coils, it comes with 2 coils. They're not pre-assembled or they're not pre-installed, but they are pre-wrapped for you. There's 2 of them, and it is a, focusing on that, a twisted coil. This should come out to 0.5 ohms. It is cancel, so as you can see on that, it's actually going the opposite way on the rotation. But the legs are left a little long, but we shall show you how to install this into the deck. Your posts are at an angle, so you've noticed they're not straight across, they're not in line, just to one angle. So it goes through at that angle. What I would do, or what I normally do, put one through, don't tighten it up just yet, put your wire on the opposite side of the post, like that, and then round about halfway along the post, just snip the leg there. And then what I do is grab hold of the leg and just pop that in. Once it's in, I can then feed it through a little bit, position it up, it's just poking out the other side of the hole. Nip it up. You don't want to go silly with the grub screws. I've heard some people stripping them, but personally I think that's because they've screwed them down too tight. And you get a little bit of thermal expansion and contraction, then you cannot undo them. So, nip that up. Nip the other one up. Just giving it a little nip. Double check that one. Make sure you're not sticking out too much on that side. Snip any excess off. And if you don't use them, I would highly recommend flush cut. You can cut it off flush. Get the diamond cut, leaves you with a little bit of protrusion. Nip that one off. And then we shall put that on to a box. And that's coming out at 0.58. See how that fires. Pretty good. Pulse in that. I think I've still got a little bit of juice left. So yeah, still on 0.58. Just double check them. Yeah, not too tight. 0.58. Try burning that at 20 watts. So let's get to wicking it up. There we go, I've just put a wick in that. What you want to be careful of is you don't block them up. Don't block your juice channels up. Just inside, making sure it's not on your threads, because when you're screwing your top cap on, it's going to foul up on your cotton. But you don't want it too loose, or you'll end up with flooding. You may not get the perfect cotton wick in the first time, so it's just something that you'll have to get used to with anything else. Each item has its own particular quirks. This one's not too bad, so let's pop the top cap on there. Pop the tank back on. Shut my juice control. And fill her up. Dump it in there. Screw the cap on till it just touches. Tip it upside down. Wait for the bubble to come to the top. There we go. Bubbles at both sides. And then 1, 2. I generally open it up two turns. Turn it back over. And then fasten that in. When I get up top, I'll have the other coil back in, but this is at 20 watts, 0.58. Rocking away like a good one. So we'll catch you up top and I'll give you some conclusions. Well, that was a look inside the Serpent. If you get used to wicking it and you get your cotton just right, it's a very nice device. If you get used to the way to fill it as well. With anything, you've got to get used to a particular item. You can't just jump straight into it. A good example is the Limo, the Limo 2. It's got its own little perks. Every device, every item has its own little perks. So once you get used to them, it's a great little device. I'm presently carrying it on my SXK S80. There you go. I've had temperature control in it, the coils that come with it. Deck's a little bit of a fiddle to build on, but once you get used to it, there we go. If you've ever built on a Genesis, the first time you build on it, you've got to get used to it, so it's just a little learning curve that you've got to do. But other than that, like I say, it's a good little device. What's it like to vape on? Well, fully open, it is an open draw with a little restriction. Would you use it for mouth to lung? Not really. It's giving decent vapour, but if I can just get into that air hole, can it pick it up? It's hard, is it on? Oh, it's on there. It's just about closed. Don't know if you can pick it up. Yeah, just about there. So it's just closed. And you can mouth to lung it, so if you really tighten that down, virtually close it off, you can mouth to lung. I generally have it half open with a restricted lung kit, and it serves me all day, my everyday vape. As you can see, there's masses of cloud coming off that, and that's just with half open. This build that I've just got in there, I've changed it over and it's a 0.11 watt coil. It's at 20 watts, nickel build. And it's given me a pleasant amount of vapour. Obviously, if you adjust your build, adjust your wicking for the particular VG, PG juice you've got in, you get a very pleasant vapour off it. Would I buy it again? Yes, I would. It's quite a handy little device, and atomizer, and being in the black, it fits well on that. It's not too obtrusive. The tank sounds is okay for the vape that I have. I'm not going to go into price because the price will come down wherever you get it from. The package deal that you get will all reflect on the price. So yes, I would go for it again. Would I go for the Mini? Smaller tank. I don't know, we'll have to see. But anyway, that was the Wotofo Serpent in black. And with that, I'll see you down at the Vape Expo, or I'll see you on the next review. So until the next time I see you, stay safe and look after each other. And hopefully we might be in somewhere different.